Is an event like this a recipe for a repricing of the stock market, at least the trades we've seen the past couple weeks? Let's ask none other than Jim Cramer. He's host of Mad Money and Squawk on the Street, and he joins us on the Newsline Live. Jim, really great to have you with us. What's running through your mind?
Oh, Kelly, I've got to tell you, I think that it's more of a race than it was just yesterday, and I think that the stock market wants a race. I feel that what's happened in the last week is the Republican Party was revealed to be a different party from what we thought. It's a very anti-globalist, very nationalist party, to the point where you started thinking, when you hear someone say Wall Street Baron, they're just leaving out the word robber. So suddenly I found myself thinking, wow, this Republican Party reminds me of the old populist party of the 1890s, where the issue was how horrible is Wall Street for selling everybody out. So I think we saw a different Trump than 2016, one that was worrisome for the stock market. So I really think, as odd as it sounds, we're thinking, you know what, maybe we were too quick to think that the Republicans would necessarily be better for Wall Street.
So, Jim, just for a second, the biggest trade the past couple of weeks has been small caps, right? I mean, they've absolutely levitated. I think they were, up 9%, while the NASDAQ was down 4% and so on. That was when it looked like Trump was almost a shoo-in. And the past week has been talking a lot about the hypothetical of his administration, with Vance, to your point, on the ticket now. Do we unwind that? I mean, Harris was polling better against Trump than Biden was. So is the market taking out the odds of a Trump reelection? And does that mean that everybody who thought it's small caps, this is the sure thing right now, this rally is broadening out and these are going to be the beneficiaries, do they have to put that on pause?
Yeah, I think so, Kelly. That whole small cap thing was based upon some sort of way to be able to play the anti-globalist trend, an insular trend, figuring that no American company that doesn't do international business would be hurt. As a matter of fact, those would win. That's fine if you think that there was going to be a sweep, a Republican sweep. Now I think you're saying, what are these stocks that I own? These little stocks that don't do that well if the Fed cuts, because we don't have we might have a situation where we got the same regime as Biden. They did terribly. So I'm viewing this as globalist versus nationalist. Of which some people felt small cap is nationalist. I'm looking at the guys who have best earnings. And I was thinking that if we have a president that wants tariffs all over the place, that's bad for anybody with good earnings internationally. I don't sense that there was a big pro-tariff movement under any wing of the Democratic Party. The Republicans are pro-tariff. This is a reversal of everything that we know. It's why the sense of, I think, of unease that we got this week meant that you should sell Mag 7, sell the industrial, sell companies that are international, sell Procter & Gamble, sell Coca-Cola. And what I think ended up was, with this move, was maybe people take a second thought and think, you know what, there's no coordination here. Maybe we've moved too quickly.
And, Jim, to your point, then, if you own the Mag 7, if you own the big tech names, do you have to kind of move to the sidelines or wait to get more clarity on these trades and how it's going to trade relative to Russell and so forth until after November now? Because that's a long time from now.
No, Kelly, I don't think so. I mean, look, I think that we've got earnings coming up. I think that the earnings, for instance, for Apple are really important, because I think that'll show us that's the stock that is the lead, that it has got a China aspect to it. But both President Trump and President Biden obviously had no love lost for China. I want to see how that stock acts. That would be the one that would tell me if that gets hit hard and we regard China as being a weak part of theirs, then I think maybe we have some more to worry about. But when you look at an Amazon, when you look at an Alphabet, when you look at a Mega, when you look at Meta, those are not Mega and MAGA, and they're not Democratic trades. They're earnings. They're earnings trades. And look, as long as earnings are good, Kelly, I'm not going to sell any of these.
Yeah.
Why should we sell them?